Hello and welcome for today's video with new messages. I always have so much I want to share with you, always lots of ideas and downloads, and it's difficult to sort what to choose. But so for today's video, I feel like talking about breaking old bonds and swimming in new rivers. That's the big one, and it's relevant for a lot of us. How to actually have the capacity and the courage to break a habit, to break an old way of attaching to something, and to have the courage to let it go in order for you to be open to new aspects of life, basically to swim in new rivers. It's a difficult one. It takes a lot of awareness, first of all, like you are awakening, and when you have awakened, it does take a lot of courage to actually leave, to actually step into the unknown. I did a series about change. You can find it my videos about transformation and about what it takes to actually change and what it takes to actually do the change. And then I talked about how you really have to be willing to let go of something safe, of something you know, in order to welcome something unknown. And that is, the conditioning of what it means to actually transform and change. It always has the aspect of insecurity, of the unknown. Like, it always has the aspect of you have to be willing to lose something in order to gain something else. If you're not in that space, you're not changing. So that's the very condition for change. You have to be willing to lose what you know, lose something you potentially care about, you think you care about, and be willing to open up for something that you have no control over. You have to be willing to open up and welcome something that you don't know what it will be. That's the conditioning for change. So I talked about that in that video. And in this video, I will talk about one aspect of change, which is how you are programmed to live your life, how you are programmed to have relationships in order for you to get the privilege of living in another way, to get the privilege of living with more, freedom and life and love, and to get more happiness in your life. Yeah, that's an important theme, because so many of us choose relationships and choose a way of life that is actually not based on, a healthy choice. It's actually not based on you, how you were preconditioned to live this life. It's not based on the soul you enter this life with. It's not based on you. It's based on what you learned growing up from your family and from the systems of society, the culture you grew up with. It's not free. It's not your free will. And I know that's a big subject. Do we have a free will? I don't know. I'm not going to go into the will aspect of it, really, but more like to inspire you to talk about or to think about, like, what is the foundation from your will come from? What do you base your choices on? What foundation in you do you base your choices on? And of course, for many of us, it's a system that we didn't choose. It's not based out of our own free will. And I want to talk about it because that can have, great consequences for our life. When we, on one hand, know, we want to be happy, we want to have love, unconditional love in our lives, we want to be independent or be able to choose nice, creative, inspiring things to do in our life, but then we also see that we don't live like that, or we also notice, like, and why do I never get to that place, to happiness, say, or to freedom, or freedom to express myself and live more authentically like I want it, but I don't seem to get there. And I try and I try and I try, but they don't merge how I live, like the reality of how I live and how I want to live. I think many of you, might recognize yourself in this, and it might be very frustrating because if you don't see what the gap is about, and if we don't see like how to merge it, then we feel very powerless and it's helpless. We can't solve the problem. And why? Because it's driven by unconscious forces, and we need to make them conscious. We need to make the patterns that rule our life conscious. And wasn't it Carl Jung that said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So, that's crucial, that you really need to be aware of the unconscious, or what forces are unconsciously ruling your life, because that's a scary thing, When you are conscious on one hand, what's good for you on a rational level, and you see, like, you get inspired by, other people, and on social media, I want to live like that. But then your heart might actually be totally ruled by unconscious forces from your childhood or from the environment you had growing up, right? So your heart, it's really about this. Your heart is not free. Your heart is possessed. It's sort of scary when you think about it. It's possessed, someone else owns your heart. It's not open, it's not free. And I talked about this in another video, how to open your heart and transform fear into love. It's actually about this, that when your heart is closed, it's because it's scared, and it's because it's invaded, by other people, by other norms, by culture, by other people, by, other role models. So it's scared. So, when someone is scared, it closes down. So closed heart is about it's being invaded. And it's not free. And so in that video, I talked about how to regulate your nervous system in order to open up the heart, which is actually why is the nervous system dysregulated? Because it's owned. It's owned. You are owned by your past. I just thought of it now. Yeah, that's one way to describe a dysregulated nervous system. It's because your body and soul and heart is owned by something in the past that is not good for you. So you can think of it as actually your body is reacting very healthy with giving you a lot of anxiety, because it knows this is not my direction. This is a loss of direction. I am not free. My body is not open. I am owned. So it's closed down. It's closed, but it reacts, with anxiety, for example, and fear. So it's really about that too. You need to, in order to be free of that, you need to first be aware of in what way you are owned by your past, in what way you need to make basically the unconscious conscious. Otherwise, you obviously won't know how to reach your goal of, being in more open, kind relationships, or in more choosing more wisely for yourself, so that you will get more rewarded from life, be more rewarded with that life will give you what you want. And by the way, that's also another clue that you can look at. Like, if you always think that life gives you shit, that life is not rewarding you, you have bad luck. Like, why do these things happen to me? Why me? Like, why is always me? It's not because it's, you're a victim. It's not because it's always you. It's just that, you are operating on a vibe, on a level, on a karmic level, you could say. So, universe will give you shit until you see it. So don't take it personally. Don't, fall into despair and hopelessness and, I'm so sorry. It's, I'm a victim in this, blah, blah, blah. Try to rise above and see the pattern. So why does shit happen to me? Well, because I'm someone, universe is trying to teach me something. It's trying to show me something by giving me all these bad experiences. Everything is happening for a reason. I'm here to learn about it. And if bad things continue to happening to you, it's because you are not free yet. Your heart is not open yet. It's closed. You are still belonging to your past, to to these old bonds, to these old attachments, unhealthy attachment that is not, that were not meant for you. So you're still owned, and then you will live a life where, you don't have flow. You don't have alignment, bad things happening for you, only challenges, or nothing is happening for you. Don't, just think, well, that's just my life and I should accept it. No, you don't have to accept it. And you don't have to fall into despair, but you need to rise and see the pattern. Okay, why is it happening to me? What can I learn from this? Am I free in my heart? Am I open? Or in what way do I actually repeat family, patterns, like from old heritage way of living my life? What patterns? Don't take it, too, how do you say, too concrete. It's not exact, like every, exact event is repeating. It's just a pattern. You need to see the pattern, and, if you want my help with it, I can help you with it. Or, another person who can see patterns, like therapists, you can see patterns. Then it will be much easier for you to also find hope. Okay, I can see that pattern. So what is it that I'm repeating? And what is it that I need to stop with? What is it that I need to leave in order for me to have the capacity, to have the circumstances to actually start to open up to new possibilities, to new life, to new way of living the life, basically opening my heart so that I will be open to receive good things. Because, it depends how open you are with talking about this, or this way of talking about it. But yes, universe will reward you when the moment you are opening the heart. It will reward you with flow, good things. It will be very clear for you when you're on the right path, I'm promising you. It will also be very clear to you when you're on the wrong. There will be signs if you are open to them. If you are stuck in an old past inherited pattern from your ancestors that's not good for you, and you are repeating the same things of living your life that your ancestors did, there will be signs that, okay, hey, this is not good for you. Maybe, I should live in another life. Maybe, are you the one who changed the pattern? Are you the one who breaks the cycles? Universe will invite you to be the one who does it. If you don't know how to see signs, if you're not awake, you will miss them, and then you will be just another person who's lived their life in the same way as your ancestors did. Or you will, be aware, and you will see the signs, and you will see them not as a critique or not as like, oh, this is a sign that I'm a piece of shit. No, you will see it as an invitation, right? So you need to start to see, I know this is hard and it might be provocative, especially if, of course, there are circumstances where it's just too brutal to see it like this. Like it's when people are in war and like really do not have any will or any capacity, any potential to change the situation. Like when they're in a war situation, when they're stuck, that's brutal. Then I understand it's difficult to see life like I'm talking about. Like, oh, this is just a learning experience, that's provocative. But other than that, if you start to see challenges in your life as a learning experience instead of something bad happening to you, like this is happening to me because I have to learn something. I haven't figured out what yet, but I am gonna figure it out. And when I figure out what is the learning, what is the experience here, then I will raise my consciousness, right? It will go from more unconscious and just life is happening to me and I'm just it happened again and I don't know. No, when you are going from unconscious to conscious, then you will gain power to change something. So that's the whole idea. And that's, by the way, what I'm saying in therapies, like it's not about going to the right method. Of course, that's important, and I've said that before, that it helps with a good method, and it helps, with a good person. It helps you, but that's not it for healing. What is it? Well, what it is yourself. You are healing yourself. How? Well, by getting to know yourself. By taking your own perspective. That's the clue. That's totally the clue. And why is that healing, or why is that helping? Well, probably because you had an experience of no one really did take your perspective. So first of all, that's an awakening in itself. When you are starting to take your own perspective, the child in you or the soul in you awakens and becomes happy. Way, someone is taking my perspective. So that's the healing experience in itself. And then also, of course, the bonus of getting to know yourself is that you know yourself. It's a good thing to know yourself, because then you are conscious of all the corners in you. And what do you do when you are conscious about yourself? Well, then you are making conscious choices for yourself in your life and in your love life and relationships, and in every aspect of your life. You are open and free to make conscious choices, and you're also open and free to receive choices for you and feel in your heart if it's a good choice. If you're unconscious, you have no power. You are just a victim of life. So it's super important to get to know yourself. And I say it in therapy, it's not about the method. It's actually that we are helping you to get to know yourself. You are the expert on yourself if you get help with awakening to become the expert. I am not the expert of you. I can just give you feedback as a therapist. But when I give you feedback, I invite you to become the expert on yourself, so that you can awaken from being unconscious to more conscious. So then again, to coming back to the actual theme of this video, what happens when you are conscious regarding breaking old bonds? Well, then all of a sudden you have the capacity to see the patterns of where are you coming from, the programming. So if you find yourself, you're stuck in a relationship that is not good for you, you're stuck in a job that is not good for you, or you're stuck in a country that is not good for you. Oh, well, let's take those three as an example. So if you're stuck in a country where you feel, say, repressed, right? And you don't feel listened to by the country, say, you feel repressed, you cannot express yourself freely, the weather is not good for you, maybe it's too warm, so you feel like you feel like you cannot think, you feel you have no autonomy, maybe you're just sweating all the time, or it's too cold and dark, so you feel suppressed, you don't feel like yourself, no authenticity, you feel like invaded and heavy by this country. Okay, that's one example. Or you're in a relationship where you all the time feel criticized, also suppressed, not like yourself, you don't have your own brain, you are just trying to adapt to the environment, and you're basically lost. That's one example. Or you are in a job setting where no one is, your boss is not listening to you, you feel like a piece of shit all the time, your work is not appreciated, and there is people are backstabbing each other on the workplace. Okay. So we have these three examples, and when you see a theme in every example, you feel this suppressed and not listened to, okay? And you feel scared that it will be backstabbing, for example. If you think about, so if you're this person who in this relationship or this country or this workplace, if you think about the theme, suppression, I can't be myself, and I'm scared of someone will backstab me, say. And then start to think about the way you grew up, okay? So is there any common themes in the way I live now, the situation I'm in now, and my upbringing? And take it all in, like the family you grew up in, the culture, the town, the city, the culture you grew up in, the communion you grew up in, the country you grew up in, and what government was it? Like what were the political environment? All that, take that into account and see if you can see a pattern. Like, was there free speech in my family, say? What was I allowed to express myself in school? Could I express myself in society? Or like, did I ever get critiqued? Did I feel safe to be myself, authentic self? Or did I have fear in my body? Like, what will happen if I express something from my heart? Okay, so try to see those patterns, okay? Try to see the clues. Think about your past. Think about your past, and then try to match that with how you live your life now. And then you say, no, my father didn't have light hair, and the person I'm with now has light hair, so it's not the same. And the person I'm with now is a doctor, and my father was a carpenter. No, it's not on that level. It's more on, you know, the dynamic, the environment, the pattern, the attachment system you grew up in of suppression or of freedom. So when you see this pattern, wow, I grew up, this is an example then, I grew up in a system, family, society, culture, country. I grew up in a system where the rule, where the norm was suppression, where the norm was no free speech. Might it possibly be that that actually formed me in my life, so that when I, you know, become adult, I will for sure choose the exact same environment. Why? Because I feel at home, because it's familiar, because, you know, this is what I'm used to, and this is what my brain is programmed to do. So I have actually no free will in that case. I just repeat what I was taught to repeat. I just do what my brain wants me to do. And why do my brain want me to do that? Because that was what it was taught when I was a kid. And I said it in other videos, you know, take care of your kids, please, and their brains, and really treat them as divine beings, because they are so open and pure and innocent when they are born. You know, having a child is a big decision again, because you are responsible for their brain and for their future choices. Well, again, I will make a video about, it's not only you as a parent, it's also the system you're living in. So be aware of what country you live in when you have kids. I'm just saying, if you want to have free kids, it's important, like what school are they in, what country, what society, etc., because they are so pure and open to be molded and programmed. And this goes for you as well. When you were a child, you were programmed and molded, and it was, you know, unfair because you didn't have any choice. Why didn't you have any choice? Because you are born into an attachment system that you are dependent on for your survival. So of course you are going to adapt to the environment fully, because it's just what we do. It's survival. So you are going to take after everything that your parents is teaching you and society is teaching you. No one wants to be on the outside. Then that's death, right? So just, you know, it's social environment rules. You want to become part of the group. So of course the child is doing what their parents are doing, and start to think like on a very, very deep level, and also on an unconscious level. Yeah, also on an unconscious level. It's not even thoughts. It's just a way of looking at life. It's like norms. It's like values. It's brainwash. That's what it is. If it's, you know, in a negative sense, it's brainwash if the child is not encouraged to their own free, authentic thoughts. Everything else other than that is brainwash. And it happens to a lot of us, to many of us, because, you know, it's very difficult to be a parent, especially in a society where everyone is sort of brainwashed. So it's very difficult to be the awakened one, in you know, if you have no inspiration to it. If you're living in a culture where everyone does the same, everyone lives in the same way, everyone has the same norms, how are you gonna, as a parent, you know, gonna do things differently? So don't be too hard on yourself in this. But if you're a parent yourself, it's very difficult to then teach your kids, if you choose to give birth to a kid in that same society, in that society where everyone is like sleeping, then it's going to be very hard for you to do the right thing for your kid, which is to help them to keep their own brain, to keep their own mind. Not because they're going to be a child their whole life, but because they're going to have this foundation of growing from if they keep themselves. It's crucial to keep ourselves if we're going to evolve with having a healthy life with healthy choices and love and all that. It's so important. But if you didn't grow up like this yourself, if you're brainwashed yourself or like programmed, which many of us are in so many ways, and if you live still in this society, then it's like a difficult task for you. You're going to have to be very strong in raising your child in another way. So best thing is to actually move to a place, if there is any, I don't know, where they promote authenticity and free thinking and will and cooperation among people. So kids, they come, as I said in another video, with so much wisdom and purity and divinity and potential. And they are here to remind us of who we are. That's how you should look at kids. And if a kid is a pain in the ass, it's because they are reacting to you being asleep. They are reacting to you being stuck in an unhealthy program. So you should be, I know this is weird, but thankful to a difficult kid. As I said in another video, the kid is just a messenger. It is here to tell you that this is F-ed up. You are not free. And it's trying to tell you with this message, you are stuck in something bad, and I, the kid, I'm pure, I sense it. So I'm going to give you hell so that you wake up. But what do? We blame the child. We blame the messenger, just as we blame, Jesus. We always blame the one that come with the message of love and freedom. That's what we as humans do as a group, in a group level. And it's very sad, but we've done it for years, and we are doing it with our children who are coming here, pure beings, and trying to help us remember who we are. They are doing us a favor, right? They are doing us a tremendous favor. And they are so strong, They are so strong, and they persevere. Even though we as a parent are sleeping and we're blaming them, they still keep their high vibe, and they still play, and they still laugh. Of course, it's going to come eventually a time in the teenagers where they stop. So you have this window, 0 to teenager, where you have the time to try to wake up and listen to them. And when they are still moldable, and you can still repeat. But then it's more difficult, because then, they grow up and their brain closes, and they become zombies as well from their past. But really, I think it's so important to understand this, that we are killing the messenger of love who is coming here to remember who we are. So please try to see your child as someone who is trying to tell you something. And if they are annoying, it's because they are reacting to how you treat them, which is a pattern from the past, or how society is treating them, which they are reacting to, or how society is making you treat them in a special way, and that is not good. So they are, messengers again. So when you start to see the patterns, when you start to see where you're coming from, like, okay, I am in a suppressed relationship, I'm suppressed at work, I'm scared all the time, and I live in a city I don't like. Okay, it was the same thing when I grew up. So this is what I'm used to, this is familiar. It's not supposed to be like that. It doesn't have to be like this. It's just my reality right now. I'm stuck in this bubble of this is my reality because this is what I grew up in. So, I think this is how it's supposed to be. And I have anxiety all the time, and I am depressed, but I'm thinking it's all my fault. So I go to a therapist. And we talk about my childhood maybe, and we talk about how I think in a certain way and what I can do, how I can regulate my anxiety, how I can be more positive, etc., etc. But you know what? There is a reason to why you're anxious. I said it in another video. It's info. It's information. So yeah, sure, we should, regulate our anxiety. It's important. It's important to calm ourselves down. However, we shouldn't forget that anxiety is a healthy sign that something is wrong. So if you're anxious, it's because you're stuck in a life, in a situation, environment, relationship that you are not happy with. Your body remembers. It remembers for you. It's just like I said in another video, the kid is being annoying, is being a pain in the ass because it's trying to awaken us and remind us. Your anxiety is exactly the same. Your anxiety is a sign. It's a signal to you, this is not good. I don't want to be here. Hey, it's saying to you, hey, wake up. My body doesn't want to be here. My soul wants to live in another way. My heart wants to live in another way. Will you listen? Will you? Don't regulate me down. Don't push me down. I understand you want to be calm, but first you need to change your life. That's what your anxiety is saying. Change your life, then we can talk about being calm. Then you can regulate me. But just change your life, please, first. And how do I do that? Well, I break free from old bonds. It's the same with depression. Your body's shutting down as a fear response. It's shutting down because it's living in a way that it doesn't want to live in. It's not happy, it's not free, it's not authentic. So if you get depressed, again, just as I said with the child, see it as a signal. Depression and anxiety is a messenger that our body is not happy and safe and authentic. So see those as signs. Then look at your past. What's wrong with how I live now? What was wrong then? And when you see the pattern, okay, I tend to be attracted to suppressed environments. It's not my fault. This is just what I'm programmed to. I tend to be attracted to critique. It's not my fault. It's just what I'm programmed to. Or I tend to be attracted to being the one who critiques. I tend to be attracted to being the oppressor or the abuser or the bullier. Why? Well, it's not my fault if I'm unconscious about it. It's just what I learned to do, and it's, a not so good response to what was done to me. But, hey, that's what happens. I'm identifying with the aggressor. You can look that up. It's very common, you just repeat. And that's for a whole nother video, though. I won't go into that now. But anyway, I will stay on path. If you see these patterns, then you are becoming conscious. You're becoming conscious, and you should then see how your brain opens up. And you start to question why you are oppressed, why you are critiquing other people, why you are being critiqued, and why you've been that your whole life. When you start to see it, then the difficult thing, the step then is to be able to let go and to welcome new ways of living. And that this is the difficult part. To see it is difficult, and it's brutal, and it's an awakening, and it can come a lot of feelings of pain and sorrow, but also hope when you see, but Jesus, I'm repeating the same environment that I grew up in, and I didn't know, I didn't see this. I thought this was normal, and then I wonder, why am I never happy? So when you see it, it's a big awakening. It's brutal, but then it's your responsibility to choose another life for you. Some of you might feel, well, that's the easy part because I will never go back to, I don't want to stay in where I am. I'm so motivated. I don't care if it's unknown. I'm just going to go. I'm going to leave this relationship. I'm going to leave this workplace. I'm going to move to another country, or I'm going to, change all my friends. I'm just going to do it. But some of you, many of you, I think, find it more difficult. Why? Because you are attached to this old system on a very deep existential level. So what's going to happen is going to trigger fear in you. It's not your fault. It's just a baby in you that is getting scared. No, I don't want to leave my mama. I don't want to leave. I'm very scared. I can't leave. My mom was not good for me. My dad was not good for me. But still, they're my mom and dad. How is life going to be if I leave them? Also, I will feel guilty if I leave them. If I leave my attachment system, my old programming, I don't know what's going to happen, and they will blame me, and I will leave them alone. And what if they can't, take care of themselves? What if they need me? What if they get angry at me? What if, what if? It's a lot of what ifs. So I want you, as I said in another video, to really respect how difficult it is to leave the past. It's not just to leave in the now, because it's very influenced by the past and by these attachment bonds, the attachment system, what we learned about attachment and survival when we grew up. So you can expect a lot of fear in you when you want to leave a relationship, or when you want to enter a relationship or a circumstance, environment where there actually is love, right? And this is for also a lot of content, like if you grew up with neglect or with abuse and suppression, whenever love comes your way, you're going to be scared and you're going to say, no, that's weird. I don't know that. And I don't like it. You're going to push it away, love and something free. You're going to have aversive feelings toward it, because that's what you program, and you're going to welcome shit. You're going to welcome suppression and abuse and oppression, because that's what you're used to. So that's also the problem, that when you're ready to leave a system for you that's not good for you, you also have to be aware that to enter a new paradigm of life on love will be weird for you. It will be difficult. Your body will not react to love and life and happiness and freedom like this. It's not going to be open to it. It's going to be suspicious and want to protect you from it, right? And it will want you to go back to what it's used to, of suppression and being closed down and abused. Even though you know that's not good for you, it's going to be more comfortable there. So you have to be aware of when you take the leap to leaving something old and to go into something new. It's not going to be easy. You're going to be scared. You're going to have defenses. You're going to want to try to protect yourself. So it's very important to then be surrounded by inspiration, by friends, and to be very open with what you think. Like to be open about, you get suspicious about something that should actually make you happy. And so that someone can remind you, oh, that's weird. I mean, this is something good, and you get suspicious. It might be because of your protection then, and it might not be because you shouldn't have the happiness. So all this is actually it's about, leaving a loyalty, an unhealthy loyalty to sickness, to break the bond, to break the loyalty, which is very difficult to do that. But it's what you must do. You must take that leap. You must face that fear. You must step into the unknown in order for you to be rewarded with unconditional love and a happy life and authenticity and freedom of speech, and to be surrounded by, higher vibe, because it's for you. It's possible for, no, not for everyone, because I don't think it is actually, but some people, have a difficult road ahead, but it might be possible for you anyway. Think of it as a possibility. The more you think of it as a possibility, then the more will open up for you. The more you think of yourself as a victim who will never get anything from life, the more you will get fed back with that life. You will be stuck with that life. So to make this the example with the loyalty even more concrete, think of it as you grew up with a sick parent, for example. How difficult it is to leave a sick parent to have fun instead. That's very difficult, but that makes this the difficulty with this very concrete. You love your parent, you want your parent to be good, but your parent is sick, and no matter what you do, you cannot heal your parent. You cannot. Then you have the choice to just sit by your parent's bed for the rest of your parent's life and maybe stay there when your parent is dead. You're going to stay with the bed. You have that choice. Or you make the choice of facing reality. My parent is sick. I cannot heal my parent. But what can I do? I can be the one who walks out in life and be open to love and life. I can do that for me, and I can do it for my parent. Maybe my parent is gonna complain or gonna criticize me and try or beg me to stay because he or she doesn't know better. He's gonna beg me to stay or control me to stay. But if I follow my heart, I will know and know the right thing here is to do for both of us, for everyone, is for me to step into the life I want to live and to break the loyalty to sickness and to instead cultivate loyalty to my heart, which is to cultivate loyalty to love and life, which is better for everyone in the whole world. I think that was a good place to stop that sentence. So, yeah, I hope this was helpful, inspiring in how you can start to take steps to change your life, be aware of unconscious patterns, and become conscious, and then what to expect when you're actually taking conscious steps into a new life. So please comment if you had an experience of this or if you had any inspiration. And also I'm starting a newsletter, so I can send you infos and link with videos. So that is to come, and I don't know when this video is published. Maybe I will already have a link where you can, look at my website. But anyway, I'm just mentioning it. That's the plan, newsletter. And yeah, please comment if you like that idea. And well, anyway, I'm sending you lots of love, and I hope this was helpful. I love to share with you, and have a nice day. Thank you.